This is the Ontario Police Memorial, dedicated this 7th day on May in the year 2000. Her Honor Hilary Weston, Lieutenant Governor, Honorable, a bunch of politicians, Ontario Police Memorial Foundation, and the families of those fallen officers named herein. So here's a monument not dedicated to soldiers in wartime, but to the police officers of Ontario who have given their lives. And this is a very sad display. Look at the numbers of names inscribed on these walls. Dedicated to these police officers who serve the people of Ontario, heroes in life, not death. Heroes in life, not death. That's sad looking at some of those names. There are some inscribed, latest from 2022, and other years in the 2000s, names that I remember in the news. And these are people who went to work to do their job, to keep the rest of us safe, and they didn't come home that night. This is honoring Ontario correctional workers, past and present. Their dedication and service play a vital role in our justice system. This wasn't the other monument I was coming to see. We'll get to the other one in a minute, assuming I don't make a wrong turn. So as you can see, Queens Park, the road circles around the government building, and then when it gets to the part right in front of us at the traffic lights, it turns into University Avenue. So here is a second monument I wanted to visit. Lots of noise in the background, but this is for fallen firefighters. The Ontario Firefighter Memorial dedicated this 5th day of June in the year 2005. A bunch of politicians, the Ontario Firefighter Memorial Foundation, and the families of those fallen firefighters named hereon. And you see some jackasses have decided to, oh, that's not going to work. I've decided to deface this memorial with whatever the hell they want to do. Not the place. So just like the police officer memorial, these guys, men and women, went to work that day and didn't come home. A lot of names. Now, whether you're pro-Gaza or pro-Israel, I don't really care, but this is not the place to deface a monument, putting bloody stickers on a monument dedicated to people who gave their lives to keep you safe. Pathetic. Just pathetic. Okay. I'm surprised I didn't swear. Okay, let's take another little detour. So we're now on College Street. So University Avenue, which we'll get back to in a second, has been called Hospital Row because there are hospitals everywhere. This is where a lot of groundbreaking research is done. We have the Mars Institute to the right. Not sure what building this is on the left. Doesn't look like it's complete yet, but anyway, University of Toronto, all of the hospitals, and I'll pass them as we're walking down University. But there are two places on this short detour that I want to hit. Okay, another 29-minute pause. So this building in front of us, 100 College Street, is the Banting Institute. So University of Toronto building. Frederick Banting is a hero in Canadian science and medicine. So Frederick Banting along with Charles Best. And there was a better display out here that would have given me more information, but anyway, Banting and Best, two researchers working at the University of Toronto, were the individuals who were responsible for isolating and identifying insulin. You think of all the people in the world, millions of people since that discovery have had the benefit of their research and are able to treat their diabetes because they can take insulin injections. There's a very touching story, well, two stories, I guess. Whether they're true or not, who knows, but I kind of hope they are. So one is that there was apparently a room of children, so this was shortly after insulin was identified, a room of children suffering from diabetes on their deathbeds, and they were administered insulin, and now these children were comatose, close to death, so one by one they kind of open up their eyes and were able to benefit from the research of Banting and Best and go on to live because of that research and that knowledge. The other story that I like too is that Banting, or maybe the University of Toronto, whatever it was, sold the patent for insulin for $1 so that they would not profit off of their finding. They could share insulin with the world and save millions of lives, and they've done that over the years. It's a very proud moment in Canadian science medicine. So across the street is the old Sick Kids building. So it says Victoria Hospital for Sick Children. We'll pass Sick Kids as we walk past on University Avenue. But this building, 67 College Street, is where I used to work. So this is a little homecoming for me. So I worked here when it was part of the Toronto Hospital, and still is, but now is the Canadian Blood Services. Anyway, for 2 years, I would show up here every morning and go to work. All right. Now we're going to go back to University Avenue. after he ran out there. So here we are heading back to University Avenue.
I found a photo online of a plaque that I thought was outside the Banting Institute and was removed because of construction, but maybe not. I wanted to read it anyway. Sir Frederick Banting, 1891 to 1941. Soldier, surgeon, and scientist, Banting in 1920 became convinced of the existence of a substance now known as insulin. The laboratory provided by Dr. J.J.R. MacLeod of the University of Toronto enabled Banting and Charles H. Best in 1921 to prepare an active anti-diabetic extract of pancreas, purified by Dr. J.B. Collin. This was first used successfully on January 11, 1922, by Drs. W.R. Campbell and A.A. Fletcher. Banting shared with MacLeod the Nobel Prize for Medicine in 1923 and was knighted in 1934. Born near Alliston, Ontario, he died in the crash of a military aircraft in Newfoundland on February 21, 1941.
So there's a TV show on Amazon Prime called The Boys. And they film it in Toronto. And legs permitting, I'll get to one of the spots that's important for The Boys, but there was a scene that they shot here. It's this entrance to the subway station. To my left, Queenspark is the subway stop. So right here, standing where Starfire was talking with, what's his name? The boyfriend. I forgot. I suck. Anyway, we're on University Row right now. Let's get out the old 3-meter stick and see what this looks like. I think this will look better in the shade, so I'm going to go jaywalk. So you can see there's the Toronto General Hospital, the Norman Urquhart wing, the Peter Monk building. This is, oh, let's cross. I should walk right down the middle. Damn, I think I'm going to be walking back. All right, we're walking down the middle. Let's go back. Let's not get crushed. All right, this gives a better view. And we'll get to some monuments as well that are placed on this island in the center. So the Peter Monk Cardiac Center to the left. So this giant building right in front, I'll turn to the right. That is the Princess Margaret Hospital, Campbell Family Cancer Research Institute. So that is one of the top cancer hospitals in the world. Just getting a little close to the edge. I don't want to get smushed. Probably a good place to get smushed with all the hospitals around here, maybe. So there it is, Princess Margaret Hospital. Let's not get smushed here either. So coming up on my right is Mount Sinai Hospital. Let's go over here. You can see the sign for sick kids directly in front of me. Which side? Let's go left side. So, to the left we have Sick Kids Hospital. I think it's officially called the Hospital for Sick Children, but everybody calls it Sick Kids. That's one of the buildings for sick kids. Stop for a military monument. So this is a dedication to the soldiers of the First World War who gave their lives. I won't scan over the names. I don't like to stand on monuments, so I'll just record it from a distance. Inscription reads, erected by members of Toronto District's Sons of England Benefit Society in memory of those who fell in the Great War. And at the bottom of that, my arm was shaking a little bit as I was getting to the bottom, but it says juvenile members, and there are names of 4 individuals. Their name liveth forevermore. So directly in front of me now is a mural dedicated to Terry Fox. I think he is, well, I don't think, I say he is the greatest Canadian hero. Terry Fox was a teenager when he was diagnosed with cancer. You can see from that painting, he had his right leg amputated. And Terry Fox decided to jog across Canada on his prosthetic leg. And he almost made it. Unfortunately, cancer claimed him before he was able to fulfill his quest, but he raised lots of money at the time. And since then, I believe it was 1981, since then he has, in his memory, the Terry Fox Foundation has raised over $700 million for cancer research. So here's a kid who decided to do something about it, and he certainly did. All right, let's see if I get squished. Not squished today. So here we are back at Dundas Street, or University in Dundas, and up ahead is a monument to the Royal Canadian Air Force. I have to stop there too. The question is, will I beat the light? Oh, 14, 13, you can do it. Okay, here is the monument per ardua ad astra, which means through adversity to the stars. So I do know that Latin. So it says, in memory of our Canadian airmen who fought in the skies to preserve freedom and order in the world. Canadian Airmen awarded the Victoria Cross. World War I, William Avery Bishop, Alan Arnett McLeod, William George Barker. World War II, Andrew Charles Mynarski, David Ernest Hornell, Ian Willoughby Bazalgette, and Robert Hampton Gray. So Andrew Charles Mynarski, I have a video about that and how Mr. Mynarski was awarded the Victoria Cross. It just says this monument was dedicated by Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, September 29th, 1984. So Andrew Charles Mynarski was a crew member of the Lancaster bomber in the Second World War. And the plane was shot up on a bombing mission, and he tried to free the tail gunner, and he was unable to free his fellow airmen, and Andrew Mynarski parachuted out after his efforts failed. His parachute unfortunately was on fire, and Andrew Mynarski died. The individual in the tail gunner, he's the one who lived to tell the story. The plane broke in two, and he was able to tell the story of Andrew Mynarski attempting to save him. So the plane crashed, broke into two, the tail gunner survived, and Andrew Mynarski was posthumously awarded the Victoria Cross, the highest medal for bravery in Canadian military. All right, I'm going to stop here. I know there's a subway down the road, so it's lunchtime.